YouTube, what's going on? It's Mesa back at it with some Destiny 2. Alright folks, in this video we're going to go over all the patch notes for the update 1.2.1, which hit today. Now, Faction Rallies improvements has shipped right now. It's in the update. However, Faction Rallies are not available. Dylan from Bungie tweeted out, Faction Rallies will not be available this week. We're shipping the changes, but the event itself will not become available until a later date. More info on the This Week at Bungie this Thursday. Stay tuned. Now, one thing they are adding that's not in the update is they are adding seasonal ranks to Faction Rallies. Now, the companion app and Destiny Item Manager and all that sort of stuff is down right now. However, last night before I went to bed, I was perusing the companion app, and when you went to the vendors, you saw all of them, and I totally should have taken screenshots, but you saw each of the faction vendors, and you saw the rewards for reaching seasonal ranks, and at the end of them was exotic ornaments. If I recall correctly, Future Warcult had the exotic ornament for the Knucklehead Radar if you reach a certain rank. The other ranks, you would get other ornaments, you could get weapons, but the final rank was some sort of exotic ornament. Also, the Eye of Another World, that exotic ornament, I think was from Dead Orbit when you reach a certain really high rank within Dead Orbit. Next up, let's talk about the exotic changes, and I'm going to do a full video probably for tomorrow morning going over them, although I was using sun braces today and they are amazing. But jumping into this, let's start off with the Hunter. So the MECHANEER'S TRICKSLEEVES, now the new perk, is when you are critically wounded, swapping to a sidearm increases its damage 2 times in PvE and 1.3 times in PvP. Next up is the Hunter exotic, the Dragon's Shadow. So dodge reloads all of your weapons simultaneously. Dodging now also grants +5 mobility for the duration of Wraith Metal, in addition to previous benefits. Added a UI indicator for Wraith Metal Male buff. Now we have the Titans, so the Lion Rampant and the Synthoceps got a buff. So for Lion Rampant, hip firing no longer interrupts lift, increasing hip fire accuracy while airborne. You might want to try this out, and I certainly will in my review. I'm going to try this out with the Skyburner's Oath, because that's all I do with that thing is hip fire. Now the Synthoceps now grant a flat melee damage bonus for 8 seconds when you are surrounded by 3 or more enemies, 3 times in PvE, 2 times in PvP. This buff also increases super damage while active, plus 50%. Now, as a Warlock main, Warlocks are pretty happy today because LUNAFACTION boots are now viable and the sun braces are awesome. So for LUNAFACTION boots, now allows your Rift to continuously reload weapons while you or allies stand in it. Empowering Rift grants a boost to weapons range and aim assist. So I'm going to be trying these out and do a full review tomorrow. Sun braces. Solar melee kills now grant unlimited solar grenade energy for a short duration. So basically, you gotta kill an ad with your melee and get the kill while your melee is charged. From there, if you just keep spamming the grenade throw button, you will get 5 extra solar grenades, and the solar grenades, I think, still last longer. Next up, some changes to weapons and also perks. So for weapons, the Shining Sphere, they replaced the Pulse Monitor perk with Quick Draw. For Skyburner's Oath, they fixed an issue that caused this weapon's sound effect to play too quietly while you were aiming down sights. And Cirrus Regime, they fixed an issue where players could not reload while aiming down sight. Now for the perk Trench Barrel, they fixed a bug that allowed this perk to activate after making melee attacks on friendly targets. Now Exotic Masterworks, looks like Mida Multitool, the Catalyst can now be found. So it says here for Mida Multitool, the Masterwork Catalyst can now be obtained by the most determined competitors in the Crucible. Have any of you guys gotten the Vigilance Wing Catalyst yet? Look, I have not had a chance to play PvP very much since this Warmind DLC is hit, because I'm just trying to hit 385 on all my characters. I'm 384 on my Titan, I'm like 382 and 383 on my Hunter, so I'm probably going to dive into PvP real soon. Next up, we have Crucible Labs. They're in the game, but they're not available just yet. So here's what it says. Crucible Labs. Crucible Labs will now allow Guardians to play experimental Crucible content. Crucible Labs will become available at a later date. Stay tuned to @Bungie on Twitter for announcements. The Crucible Labs playlist will be active periodically for feedback. Next up, we have some general fixes here. So fix an issue where players would lose ranks for leaving a match too soon after the match ends. Fix the memory issue that was causing PC players running at low texture quality to frequently be hit by the beat or kill error while loading into 6v6 Iron Banner. They fixed the space flights of +3 minutes players experience while loading into 6v6 Iron Banner that were caused when they hit beat or kill errors. They fixed the public event over on Mars. So they fixed an issue that prevented players players from triggering the heroic War Sat Down public event when Shriekers would close too quickly. Next up onto strikes. They removed Exodus Crash from the heroic strike matchmaking, although some folks are saying that it's still in there, so Cosmo tweeted that they're working on it right now. They fixed an issue where heroic strike milestones and quests were not progressing due to Vanguard boons. I wonder if Zavala is selling them again. I have not checked in with him just yet. Fixed an issue where players could get stuck joining allies repeatedly in the strike Lake of Shadows. Added a score modifier display on the item detail screen for the Nightfall challenge card. Heroic Strikes will now award Escalation Protocol key fragments. Heroic Strikes now have a chance, about 25%, to award powerful engrams up to 360 power. That's for you solo players out there. Next up, we have some fixes and changes to the raid. So, fixed an issue where launching a 1-use super, just as you catch the Spire of Stars relic, would not consume super energy. Changed the Spire of Stars relic timeout splash damage to allow damage to targets. The raid vendor will now have a unique performance after you have completed the Spire of Stars. Fixed an issue where Callus's shield had greater health than intended. Thank you for that, Bungie. Updated the guided game tooltip to correctly reflect the required power level to launch. The Robes of Sekris, the Warlock raid chest armor, will now display the hanging cloth correctly. The cost of Spire of Stars rewards from Benedict 99 has been increased to 50 tokens. Benedict 99 Reputation Engram will no longer grant weapons. So it looks like you can only get weapons if he chooses to sell them. Like this week he's selling the submachine gun from the Leviathan, so it looks like you're only going to get armor when you cash in those tokens. Next up, we'll talk about clans. The Clan XP milestone now properly grants powerful rewards when it's turned in, so no longer do you have to wait and let it sit on your character until the next weekly reset. Just go do your Clan XP, go see Hawthorne, and you will get powerful gear. A few players would receive a clan banner very frequently. This should be fixed, and now players can discard any clan banners at the Postmaster. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. I will link the full patch notes in the description. There's 1 or 2 things I did not cover because I don't think they're very important, but if you want to read them all, they're going to be in the description. So that's it, guys. Leave me a hashtag made it to the end if you did make it to the end, and do me a favor, drop a like in this video only if you see fit. Follow me on Twitter at MesaSean. Check out my stream, usually and always on YouTube, and that's it. I am out of here like Vladimir.